It just asks us why is change so hard.
Mm-hmm.
It says this happens because it's easy to declare something, but hard to stick to things.
Yeah.
Not a particular deep insight, but what's helpful to understand from a spiritual perspective is that we as people make choices, and those choices often are unreliable things. And then it says to trust in the Lord with all thy heart and do not depend on your own understanding. Remember that the Lord is in all you do and he will give you success. That's in the NCV, the way that it says. And it says we choose to put our faith in things that are limited, such as life experiences, inborn talents, and personal willpower. Each of these has the potential of reaching a limit, which means the unlimited, they will at some point let us down. When we encounter an obstacle, we don't know how to surmount it. It says the Bible leads us to make any kind of change in our lives, physical, spiritual, or otherwise. Believing this is the first step to make change happen. Followed by the action based on what we just read in the trust in the Lord.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to have a verse on your heart.
Yeah, that's my verse that's on my heart.
That's your verse that's on your heart?
Yeah, the trust in the Lord with all my heart.
Okay.
That's been my verse for a couple years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John 14:27 is mine.
Yeah. Okay.
And not just the verse itself.
Mm-hmm.
Fully reading it.
Yeah.
To understand it.
I think that's what makes the difference, knowing what the context is at times. Because it's easy to take a verse like out of everything and it loses its context. So you're losing what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
You're molding it to what it needs. Yeah, what it needs to fit for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's so consistent. Like when I hear a verse, I have to go and read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or hear the whole thing so that I can understand it, not in my way. Because I'm pretty sure my way is the wrong way.
Yeah. That's why you pray before you read.
Yeah.
Like, Lord, give me the understanding of this, because sometimes you always have to reread it. And I think that you always get a different meaning each time you read it, even though you're reading the same thing, or it applies differently sometimes.
I think we were talking about pride not too long ago. And you were like, just look that up. And, you know, in my eyes, pride is like, oh, I'm too good for this, and like kind of boastful. It's not what the Bible said at all.
And it's not what the definition said, I don't think.
No. So it's just important to go in and like fully understand and break it down, have it breaking down for you, so that you're not approaching things in the wrong way.
Right. Because it can be difficult when you're thinking about things the way you would do things. So I think that's where we get in trouble too with God, because you're like putting him like your own understanding kind of thing. So you like, if I do this, this, and this, I will get in trouble. But that's not how God looks at us. He's more forgiving than we are.
Right.
And more loving than we are.
Right.
It's not always harsh things that go on with us, but sometimes the harsh things stick out more than the good things.
Right.
So he has to put us into remembrance of things, and we have to remember what God has done for us. just on a day-to-day basis, just breathing is such a thing we don't even think about.
Right.
Just driving to work and making it back home is a thing we don't think about or take for granted at times.
Right.
Yeah. You have anything else you wanted to say regarding listening to the Father even when it's hard?
That
Or changing.
like everybody else, we still learning.
Yeah.
These are just certain things that we recently had to visit. So the feeling is understood a whole lot more. What was the story you were talking about with the riches? And the guy kept asking God, what can he do?
Oh, yeah, he was just saying that he was doing everything in accordance. I think it's, it may be, I think it's Matthew 19:17. I can look it up here. But he was saying you're doing all these things, but you didn't do this certain thing.
Right.
Go and sell your riches, and then you will show that you love me.
And that cuts so deep for me because I want to provide.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we don't want for anything. I'm like, oh, I got this idea here, and this is gonna work, and this is gonna help take care of us. And God is like, I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
Why are you leaning on this?
Yeah.
You can't serve two people at the same time.
Yeah, two masters.
Two masters at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not play when he says that. He really means that.
Yes.
Yes, he really means that.
It is 19:17.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout, but Jesus was asking pretty much who was good,
Mm-hmm.
and the servant was like, I've obeyed all these commandments, and what else must I do?
Right.
And Jesus told him, if you want to be perfect, go and sell all your possessions and give your money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come and follow me. But when the young man heard this, he went away sad, for he had many possessions.
You talking about like a baby.
Yeah. And then the end, it kind of says, like, it's hard for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye. Well, a needle to go through the eye of the camel.
Yeah.
So we don't want to depend on earthly riches.
No. But we don't want to be broke.
Right.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for listening.
I think it's a godly way to approach that, though.
Oh, I'm hurting.
It's like, who's going to provide for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hurting.
I know.
We love y'all. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, we're still learning here, but it is hard to accept this at times.
Yeah.
But that's where we are.
Before you judge me,
Oh.
because it's coming, I want to, let me make sure I'm saying this right.
Mm. Yeah.
Let ye who have sinned cast that first stone. Ain't nobody say nothing.
I love you so much.
Let us podcast together. 2023. We love you.
We love you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for hearing our hearts in this time.
Let us podcast together.
Bye.
I can't do this.
Why you can't do this? What happened?
That's a horrible.